Again, I welcome every one of you to this training session. And today is the demo. That is the almost first day, you can say. And what we are going to see is small piece of AEM and understand a little bit more about AEM, why, what's and how's of AEM. But before doing that, let me introduce myself. So I'm a certified developer and business practitioner. I have more than 5 years of experience in Adobe ecosystem and more than 2 years in the training field. I do competitive programming, and my main area of expertise, like this is just subset of the expertise that I possess. But main areas, you can say, in migration, when you're migrating from a lower environment to a higher one, like continuous support and integration, which is like there is a website that has already been built and you work over there with the continuously improving the old code. At the same time, you are adding new features to the website, writing my backend services, components, templates, services, workflows, your replication agents, dispatchers, and other stuff, and operation side of AEM. So, from development perspective, I have worked on all the aspects which are there in AEM. Let it be something which involves working from scratch, like a project which is starting from scratch, building the first components to the project which has already been established and where you go and add new features, writing your customized workflows, customizing the components, customizing the libraries, and so on. Okay, this is all about me in a gist. And like, any questions?
No, Ashish, it's fine.
So before we start, what is AEM? Let's understand why. Okay. Why, like industry or the people, majority of the people are running behind AEM. Why there is so much craze for AEM? Why people are commanding tremendous salaries in AEM? Reasoning behind that, the first reason is there is a heavy resource crunch. And you already know, if there is a demand and the supply is less, the prices will obviously go higher. Same thing is happening over here. We have like huge demand for the number of people who know AEM, but the people actually who know AEM is very less in the market. So that is the one reason. Another reason for this huge demand is that in CMS space, this marketing or its content management space, AEM is the market leader. Okay. And since it's a market leader, that means that's a simple, like you deduct a logic that if someone is a market leader, then the number of companies which are using this product is a lot higher as compared to other CMSs in the market. And if number of companies are higher, then that is going to open more job opportunities than any other CMSs. And if there are more job opportunities, then obviously the demand would be more. And the reason why supply is less is because AEM is a proprietary software. It's a non-open source software. So today, let's say today you people have decided to learn AEM, which is absolutely great. But for people who decide that, hey, I want to learn AEM, they open the tutorial videos, they see everything. They can see the videos, they can understand things, but they won't have a software or application to practice it on. Because Adobe controls this software in such a way that only the organizations or MNCs who have the license, they have this software. So it's difficult to get as a normal developer your hands on the software, and that makes the AEM resources which are actually capable of working or which are actually capable of clearing the interviews scarce. Okay. Now these three summarizes why AEM is in demand. And if you see the graph over here, like this is the usage of companies, or this is the usage of AEM by companies. And there's a K value appended at the end. So it's 1000, not like 3100. There are triple zeros appended at the end. And coming to the salary growth, salary prospect is quite decent. In fact, decent would be the wrong word, quite high in India. This is the graph. Again, I'm saying this graph because this is like lower end of the values. As a fresher, you join an institute, join an organization at almost 3.5, somewhere around 3 lakh per annum to 3.8 per annum. If you decide to switch every 2 years, this is the minimum amount that you are going to command. Okay, so at the end of the 8 years, this is 23 lakhs per annum is something that you are going to earn if you are starting your career in AEM. But this is again the lower end numbers. I have seen like in myself, I have seen more than 40 to 50% of the people with 4 years of experience in AEM, rather than having this 12 ka package, they have like 16, 18. They are commanding, or they are having the package of 16 to 18 lakhs at the age of, at the experience of 5 years. That much potential it has nowadays, and that much salary you can command. That's one thing. Now, again, coming back to the points. So AEM can be easily integrated with the Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud will see what it is. You have tremendously good community support over here, which is like if you're stuck anywhere, they have their community of their own, like similar to Q&A platform, where you can go and post your questions. Number of people are willing to answer that, and why they are willing to answer it because of Adobe's rewards and recognition policy. What Adobe does is all the people who are actively answering the questions over there, Adobe keeps on recognizing their efforts by sending them vouchers on a regular basis, by sending them goodies, by mentioning them in their LinkedIn posts and other stuff. So that becomes really like you feel motivated and you feel rewarded. So people just keep on doing it. And from marketing perspective as well, if you write something that, hey, Adobe has awarded me this certificate or this voucher or maybe this designation, then that gives a good impression to the organization where you are currently at and or you are planning to join somewhere. Also, you have lots and lots of foundational improvements because right now we are using AEM 6.5. Website creation and management is very easy over here. All the assets related to the websites can be managed and good community support. It's been written twice, but you get the idea. Any question in this part?
Yeah, Ashish, I have a question actually.
Yes.
So, like, how about like we are working in AEM, but while going to certification, we need a support from our company, right? Like we can't do it individually.
No.
Okay. Like I don't have knowledge on it since I have seen like there will be a company access to AEM, so we can work with that and we can get the certification. Like individually, can we make it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, fine.
What essentially happens is why, like companies, if you're like you have a certain level of partnership. You can be a bronze partner, you can be a gold, you can be a community partner, you have a platinum membership as well. Depending on the membership, you receive let's say vouchers to the certifications. You receive discounts on the certifications. So that is why when you like organizations say that if you are trying to achieve the certification, try to use our organization ID.
Okay.
And another reason what happens is if you like tag or if you use the organization's ID to achieve the certificate, that gets tagged to them. Like certificate gets tagged to the organization.
Okay.
Adobe pulls the report of how many certified developers are working in an organization or in the partner which they have. They come to know that, okay, this organization has 50 members working, or this organization has 50 certified members working for them.
Okay.
So whenever client, when they are looking for potential, like whenever business is looking for a potential to whom they can give the project to, they consider all these factors, that how many certified developers are working over there, how long they have been a member, what is the certification rate, and all those.
Thank you. Ashish.
Thanks, Rob. Now, moving to the next part. What is prerequisite and who are the targeted audience for this course? So prerequisites involves basics of web development, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And if you are aware with the, like if you're proficient in Java, that's very good. Even if you know the basics, you understand what objects are, how functions are written, what what are parameters, what is overloading, what are annotations, a little bit of core functionalities of Java. If you can write programs in Java, you are good to go over here as well. And coming to the targeted audience part. So what I have observed so far is that any person who is joining the training session can be categorized in either of these five. First, someone who just wants to like build a versatile portfolio, which means someone who is already working in the, let's say, AEM content author, or someone who just wants to explore things for now and later switch to the certain domain or the development part. Second is who has experience working on other CRM or CMS tools and they want to switch to AEM. Considering the popularity, there are other CMS tools in the market which people are working on, and the kind of salary that AEM offers or the AEM developers get in the market, people just like try to switch to AEM, learn AEM, and print money. Again, this is something which is related to the MNCs. Whenever they join an organization, MNCs has lots of AEM projects, so they are directly pushed into AEM, and they even don't know anything about AEM. So it's difficult for them to carry on their daily tasks, and that's the reason majority of the freshers join over here. Freshers, or you can say 1 year experience guys. Pure Java developers who wants to enter web domain, but they do not particularly want to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So they enter over here and they become AEM backend developers, where they write the backend services for AEM, and there is a front-end team which is working on Angular or React or traditional or HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Okay. So these two separate teams interact with each other, and then there is a traditional AEM developer who knows front-end and back-end both. This is the targeted audience for this course. In fact, this domain has expanded a lot. Now, multiple people from various segments are joining over here, people who are project managers, and they just want to understand how AEM works because they are getting new projects in their organization. And honestly, they are just clueless how things are. So to manage the project better, they join this training as well. I have people who have joined my training who they have more than 20 years of experience as well. They were delivery heads, delivery partners. So that much kind of demand there. Moving forward, this is the course content. I believe you already have received the course content, but I request everyone to just quickly browse through it, like read through it, what all things we are going to see. And this course content is designed in such a way, like initially when I had started my career, this is how I would have expected a trainer or anyone to teach me things about AEM. Okay. And that is one reason.
Ashish, one thing, this is Priyanka. Actually, in this, few topics are missing, like
For example,
editable templates, and sling servlets and sling models.
okay.
These
Uh,
topics are missing. I don't know why.
just hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. Yeah, there is an advanced section as well in this. This is just the basics.
Yeah, I just checked advanced also. Okay, fine.
Okay.
That
Might
also,
it might have happened that the topics which you were talking about, sling models, servlets, schedulers,
yeah,
UJ configurations, those
yeah,
things are not
editable templates
mentioned.
also. Editable
Editable
templates.
templates should be there. Okay.
No, actually, whatever the trainer, no. What from SP Soft Solution, they have sent one document. In the document, I have checked. These topics are missing. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason
Okay.
I'm asking you.
Okay. To answer this, we do cover that topics. Maybe something like I might have missed that while creating the course
Okay.
content. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
that's
you
a
can
good
start.
point. I'll update the course content as well. Thanks, Priyanka.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ash.
So this is like the course content that which we are going to follow, and this is what usually this is how the process will start. Even if you are starting, or this is how the project creation process would be, even if you're starting a project which is starting from scratch. Scratch as in you are in the phase of requirement gathering, what all things client provides you design, then based on that design you start creating the project structure, then you start creating your templates, and then so on, you move forward. Just take a minute, read through it. If you have any questions, fire them. I'll try to answer them.
Yeah, Ashish, this is Gulshekar.
Yeah, hi Gurushekar.
Hi. What is the duration of this course?
Duration of this course is going to be 20 to 25 weeks.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Gurushekar?
Yes.
Yeah, so 22 to 25 working days, we plan to finish it.
Yeah,
But
okay.
but at the same time, during the sessions, I'll request you guys to come up with the topics that you actually want to understand, which are not there in the course as well. So if you give me topics, then the session gets extended by.
Yeah, wow, okay, that's fine. And what will be the charges of this course?
That you will have to reach out to the organizer. They'll update you.
Yeah, okay. It is an online or offline? Offline is available.
Offline, it's not possible. It would be online only. Every day we'll have sessions for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, depending on
Okay.
the topic that we are covering.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any guide for us when it will get problems in working?
Guide as in?
I mean, about
Yeah, obviously. How it is going to
actually,
be is
yeah.
in the morning, I would be mostly sharing my screen and explaining how things actually are working.
Yeah,
You
okay.
you will practice it by your own. We will have a group. If you need anything from my side during the day, you just post your questions over there.
Yeah, okay.
If it is possible to explain it over the over the call or over the message, I can do it. If not,
Yeah, okay.
then the next session, first thing that we do is fix the doubts and then we start the new topic.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Actually, I have been working previously in as a Selenium
Mm-hmm.
on testing. So recently, I have getting into the AEM developer
Mm-hmm.
as a developer. So recently, I got an offer in an organization. Just 2 days back, I have been joined in as a AEM developer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been worrying for how
Uh,
I get
no
this
problem.
opportunity.
Guru Shekhar, we can speak. Okay, we can speak on these things.
Yeah.
Let's connect after this session, and I can answer those questions as well.
Yeah. As in, with comfort with Telugu,
No, sorry. Srinivas can help you on that.
Srinivas.
Yes, the organizer. He'll reach out to you after this.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
When will we start the session?
This batch, like today is the demo, tomorrow we'll have the first day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that will be fine.
This is so this is first up, like basics of the course content. Now, once we move to the next one, we have advanced one, where you have like dynamic. Okay, the dynamic templates are also called as editable templates. Okay, so you have editable templates, you have policies related to that, you have OSGI bundles, which inculcate your servlets, schedulers, OSGI configurations, and other stuff. All the related to backend services are included into OSGI bundle section. Okay, and I'll be a little bit more descriptive about it. You're right. I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Policies are part of editable templates, right?
Yes, exactly. Layout and the things are part of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So apart from this is just the advanced topic. You already like have the course content with you. This is the add-ons that you are going to get with this course. And this add-ons basically what includes is, first thing, let me explain how I conduct the training. I do not use pre-written code that, hey, I'm going to write, let's say I'm building a component, so I'm going to use a pre-written code. I write the code in front of you. All the silly mistakes, let it be a typo, let it be a logical error, everything is going to happen in front of you. So any error that is happening, okay, we try to fix it during the session only. So you get to see what kind of errors happen, what, even if I'm making a small typo, what kind of error it could result into, how do you debug those errors, okay, where do you start the debugging process, how does, like, if you see a page not working, what is the first thing that you should check, how do you identify like what could be going on wrong over here, what are the 3-4 things that you should be checking in the log files, how to read the log files to understand what potentially could be going on wrong, and so on. So that's the way this training is going to be. And similarly, the debugging techniques will involve all the errors that we are going to face in the sessions. Okay. Again, any error that we are going to face, we are going to open the log files and see, like in the log files as well, there's tremendous amount of data. So how you can bifurcate what is important for you, how you isolate it, how you understand what could be going on wrong. Then performance optimization of your AEM systems, compaction, user creation and management. And these are very small things which we would be seeing. And this is what I have acquired through my experience of working with MNCs, startups, and medium scale companies. Okay, so this is what is going to be there in the course content. Now, system requirement is, again, any OS is fine. RAM, I recommend 8 GB. If you have 4 GB as well, AEM can run, but system will be a lot slower. Disk space is at least 120 GB. Again, this is because even if you have less than this, it's absolutely fine. From software, you need Java 8 or 11, which is an open source, Eclipse open source. AEM jar file is something which we will provide. And Notepad, which is again open source.
Ashish, what version of AEM jar file you will provide?
6.5.
Okay.
Now, moving to the main agenda of this demo, which is what is AEM, how things work, and let me just introduce you to a couple of things. So I have been throwing this term around, which is called as CMS, a lot. Let me explain what exactly CMS is. So as you can see, the full form of CMS is Content Management System. What is content from a website perspective? Anything that is your images. Images is content. Your videos are content. Your text is content. Similarly, any document which you have, document as a content. Your PDFs are content. Your text, all the data that is present on the website, it can be a GIF as well. These days, people are using GIF. All this data that is used to create a website, that is content. And any system that helps you manage this entire set of content will be called as content management system. Okay. And obviously, if it's a management system, then it is going to have n number of small applications inside this, right? Small applications which will do certain tasks for us. So by definition wise, CMS is an application which will, okay, it's a software application that contains set of related programs which will help you to manage this content, create it or manage this content. That's the most basic definition of CMS. What CMS does at its core. It has n number of functionalities or n number of features inside the software that will let you create or manage this website data. Now, what all options are available in the market? You have, apart from AEM, you have WordPress, Sitecore, Interwoven, Documentum, Joomla, Alfresco, and other things. Okay. Again, these are there in the market and people have been working on it, but this is just an example of what exists in the market. And how AEM came into existence is initially AEM was called as CQ5. Okay. And it was started AEM CQ5, which was earlier like initially launched in the year 2000. Then in 2010, Adobe acquired this company called as Day Software. Okay. CQ5 was a product of Day Software and they renamed CQ5. From CQ5, they renamed it to AEM. And this is the reason why in the job postings, you might find people calling AEM developer as CQ5 developer as well. This is the only reason, because initially it was called, so 50% of time AEM was called CQ5 and 50% it is AEM now. Almost for 10 years, it was CQ5. This is the reason sometimes in the job postings, you will find that they are looking for CQ5 developer and ultimately both are same thing. Any question over here?
No, Ashish, it's fine.
Now Marketing Cloud. We discussed this term that Adobe AEM is a part of Marketing Cloud. So what exactly is Marketing Cloud? As you can see, it's an umbrella term. Okay. It's a basically big term which incorporates small other app products of Adobe. Okay. So AEM sits at a level. Okay, let me just press Control Z. No. So you have n number of products inside Marketing Cloud. Those products are Analytics, Primetime, Campaign, Target, Audience Manager, Optimizer, Social, and so on. These are all products which will get integrated on the top of a website. And AEM will help you to create that website. So ultimately, AEM forms the base on which these products gets integrated. Okay, either of these products can be integrated with AEM to give you more power to the website. And it might be the case that organizations are not incorporating these analytics, or let's say target, let's say campaign, or other products into AEM. They just have a website which is hosted or which is running on AEM. And this is the another reason why, compared to other products of Adobe, why AEM developers, like companies, look for AEM developers more as compared to any other product developers. Because even though you do not include analytics in your AEM, but you need to have the website, which is the base, okay, on which everything will get integrated. At the same time, all these products, they are not only limited that they can be integrated with AEM only, they can be integrated with other websites which exist in market. It's just the integration process is a little bit like different. And with AEM, it's very easy. Very, very, very easy. All you have to do is include some scripts and you are good to go. Any question in this? And for this training scope, we are only sticking with AEM because these, again, integration part cannot be shown because these things involve a separate learning curve and these require licenses to be used. And it's really difficult for small institutes like us to have, like they can be afforded by MNCs. Normal institutes and people cannot afford those licenses. They're very costly. Any question?
No, Ashish, it's fine. No, nothing from my end.
Anyone else? Okay. Now, let's see a little bit more about AEM now. So generally, any AEM instance that you have or any AEM that you will install in your system, it is going to have roughly two modes. Okay. One is author. And what author contains is, this is the place where all your development work would be done. So development work, this word incorporates your creation of templates, components, workflows, any backend services that you're writing, any CSS changes you are doing, any kind of optimization, all those things would be developed and tested in author. Okay. Once the development and other things are done, those changes would be pushed to publisher. From author, all the stable code would be pushed to publisher, and publisher is the one which will serve the content to the end user. Now, if you see the difference wise, publisher is just a container. You won't make any changes in the publisher. Any change you want to do to publisher has to come from author environment. So this is my author environment. Even if I have to make a small change, I cannot directly do it on publisher. It has to be done in author first, and then that change has to be moved to publisher. Okay, and then no content, as you can see, no content change should be done in the publisher environment. This environment is something which will serve the content to the end user. And by default, there is a best practice that we follow. Publisher instance should run on odd number port. And similarly, author instance will run on even number port. This is just theoretical difference which we have for now. You will understand it in a lot better way once we dive more into the sessions which we are going to have further. Any question in this?
So for now, we will be working with AEM development course like 6.5 as well as tagging and those things and all, correct, Ashish?
Yes, tagging and everything ready part of the course.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
let's see how environment setup would be there for the AEM instance. So all the people who are, like you already have experience. So in organizations, you either use 3-tier architecture or 3-environment strategy, 3-environment or 4-environment, 4-environment strategy. So in case you have 3-environment, you have dev, you have QA, and you have prod. In 4-environment, you may have a UAT over here, UAT, or something called as pre-prod. Name could be different, but you get the idea that there are environments. So any change that you want to do, you have to go through the first dev environment, then you have to push, then it has to be pushed to the QA, then to the UAT, and then again, finally to the prod. So at any environment, this is what you are going to see. You will have on a particular server, you will have at least one or more than one number of authors running, at least one publisher and more than one publisher running. And then in front of those two, you have a web server. And at the end, you have end user. And this combination of publishers combination of authors. Generally, the number of authors would be one. Like most of the time, it would be only single author. In some cases, there could be 2 authors as well. But I have never seen any, like in any of the projects where they have more than 2 authors. But that is also possible, okay? It's possible to do. Whether you do it or no, according to the business need, that's a separate story altogether. Now, the number of publishers can be 1 or more. And generally, the number of publishers is more than 1 because this defines the availability of your system. Okay. So when I use the term availability, what I mean is ultimately any request that a user is sending is served by the publisher, right? So higher the number of publishers, higher the number of requests can be served. And then in front, you have dispatchers. The dispatcher has 2 jobs. One is cache, and another one is load balancing. I'll explain the cache in a while, like in some time. Just let me explain what load balancing or what this load balancing term means. So as you know, any server that we have, it has a specific capacity to handle some data, right? So let's say I have 3 publishers in my environment, okay, in my production environment. There are 3 publishers, and each publisher has the capacity to handle 500 requests at a particular moment of time. So what load balancer will do? Let's say there are 700 requests coming at a particular instance of time. So what load request will first come to dispatcher? What dispatcher will do is it will distribute this load to all the 3 servers almost equally. Okay. So each server will get approximately, you can say 250, 260. Let's say 260. So this will also get 260. And whatever rest numbers are left over here, this will get almost 300. Or whatever the number that is difference over here. Okay. So similar amount of load would be distributed. Let's say tomorrow, this number reduces from 700 to 600. Okay. So in that case, this will have only 200. Publisher 1 will have 200. This will have 200. This will have 200. And in case like maximum capacity is 500 only, in case we are getting 1600. Sorry. So in case we are getting 1600 requests, then at that moment, what will happen is 500 requests would be served by this one, 500 would be served by this one, and 500 would be served by this one. But rest of the 100 requests which cannot be served, all those users will get some kind of error, whatever we have configured. That system is not available, 503 errors could be there, or please wait for your time, or something like that, which is a bad user experience. That is the reason why we keep the number of publishers more. So in case if you already have the estimated traffic, that how much traffic is going to come to your publisher environment or to your website, you can increase or decrease the number of publishers according to that. Any question over here?
No, Ashish.
Okay. Moving to the next part, then how content is served to the end user. It's a similar thing that we saw over here. You have author, publisher, and web server. This is your web. This is the web server. Okay. First, whatever user will request, that will come to the dispatcher. Okay. Now, all the website that you have, it contains two kinds of data, right? One is static, and another one is dynamic. Dynamic data. So static data can be like all the static data can be cached by the dispatcher. And whenever the end user is requesting for that data, dispatcher will simply check in the cache and it will return it back to the end user. Your process of serving the content would be over. Publisher will not be disturbed. But in case whatever data that dispatcher's user is requesting, it's a dynamic one, or we have not written the rule to cache it, then we go to the publisher. We request publisher to give us the document that the user is requesting. Publisher will generate the document, okay, and it will give it to the dispatcher. If dispatcher is allowed to cache that document, dispatcher will cache it and then share it to the user. If dispatcher is not allowed to cache it, dispatcher will directly share it to the end user. And end user will have all the pages that they have requested for. In this entire process of serving the content, author is never used. So it only remains in these two modules or in these two sections only, whatever data is served to the end user. That is something which we need to which we need to know, that author only development work would be done over here, nothing else. And then we send the data. Any question? Guys, any question over here?
No, Ashish.
Anyone else? Okay. Now moving to the another part, which is templates and components. So definition aside, like when you hear the word template, what comes to your mind? Right? Like, what do you think of what a template could be? Not from AEM perspective, but in general. I say that. Sorry.
A blueprint of what we are going to do. Like it's something which is predefined.
Absolutely correct. So majority of the technical jargons that we use in over here, those technical jargons, they correspond to the literal English meaning of the word. So template, as Rahul actually pointed out correctly, that it's a predefined layout or a predefined structure, right? So in this case, the predefined structure could be this one. This is one example of a template where you have on the top header At the bottom, you have a footer. What is happening? Okay. So at the bottom, you have footer. In between, you have a breadcrumb. This is just one layout of the template. You can have n number of layouts. Any website that you open, it can have a separate layout. So templates defines the layout of your page, and components are something which are reusable modules, which can be used again and again. So to understand components, let's go over here. The best example is RUT. When I say reusable modules, so let's say you have this, right? You have this card component. Now, just follow along what I'm trying to explain over here. You have one image or a preview option. You have logo of the channel. You have name of the video or title of the video. Name of the channel again. How many views does this channel contain, and when was the video uploaded? Similar thing over here. What is this? You have a preview option. You have a logo, name of the channel, name of the video, who has uploaded this video, how many views, and when was it uploaded. Similar thing over here. Similar thing over here. So essentially, what is happening in all these components, not only limited to this 4, this one as well, this one as well. What is happening over here is we have something called as skeleton, HTML skeleton, that is remaining the same. Only the content inside the HTML is changing again and again. This is one prime example of components, reusable components. You can simply drag and drop this card component that you have created n number of times on the page, and you can author it to have all different kinds of content, but the HTML below that will remain same. Okay, and if you inspect this and see, so if you see this, let's go over here. Let me do a small minimization of this window so that it's easier to see what is happening. Okay, so this is the one, right? Yeah. So as you can see, the HTML structure, the classes and everything will remain same. Only the content inside the HTML will change. You compare it with, if you open the other one, it's the same thing which is getting rendered again. The classes are also same. So this is then prime example of how a component will work in AEM. We will create the reusable components, and wherever required on the page, we will drag and drop them as many times as required. We won't have to recreate or rewrite the code again and again. And this is the edge which a CMS has. What CMS gives the organizations or the agencies is that they can change the content without having the technical knowledge. One of the major important features of a CMS is changing the content without having a technical knowledge. So anything that the business wants to update on their website, they can do it quickly, irrespective of going through the deployment process, making some code changes, making some layout change or HTML changes, and then testing it in QA, then pre-prod, and then doing a deployment. Okay. So this is like all about the demo session. I'm open for questions which you have.
Yeah, it was pretty much clear, and looking forward for the next class.
Thanks, Rahul. Akhil, Guru Shekhar, Priyanka, any questions from your side?
No, nothing. When does it start the classes?
From tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We'll attend there.
Priyanka, Akhil, any questions from your side?
No questions, Ashish, from my side.
Okay. Okay, then, if there are no questions, let's meet tomorrow.
Sure.
Guys, I want to update you. The timings will be India at 7 o'clock, US 8:30 p.m. EST. Today
So
was 8.
IST will be 7 a.m.
Yeah, India time 7 a.m.
Okay. Got it.
East Coast 8:30 p.m. EST and Central 7:30 p.m. CST.
Great.
We'll email you anyway. Thank you. Thanks for attending the demo. We will have the day one session tomorrow by this 7 a.m. IST. Same meeting link will be there. Thank you.
From 7 a.m. daily it will be.
Yeah. 7 to 8 daily.
7 to 8. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
This classes will be on weekdays only, right?